If she truly moved on, why does she still watch your stories at 1:13 a.m.? If she doesn't care anymore, why does your name still echo in the quiet parts of her life? Listen to me carefully. Most men think when a woman goes silent, it means she's done, finished, emotionally detached. But silence is not the absence of feeling. Silence is often the protection of feeling, and the men who understand that move differently. I'm going to tell you something most women will never say out loud. When a woman misses you, she rarely announces it. She disguises it. She buries it under pride, ego, or self-control. Especially if she believes you hurt her, disappointed her, or walked away first. The first secret sign she misses you but won't admit it is controlled proximity. She doesn't text you, but she never fully disappears. She watches your stories quickly, not days later. Quickly. She likes one random post from 2 weeks ago. She responds to something neutral, something safe. Haha, that's cool. Nothing emotional, nothing revealing, but she's there. Why? Because missing you creates tension inside her, and proximity reduces tension. Women are emotionally aware creatures. They don't just miss a person. They miss the emotional state they experienced with that person, how you made her feel, the laughter, the comfort, the intensity. When she checks your profile, she's not just checking you, she's checking whether those feelings still exist. But here's where most men sabotage themselves. The moment she gives a tiny sign of presence, they overreact, they double text, they get excited, they confront her. Why are you watching my stories if you don't care? That kills the mystery. Understand this. If she's controlling her access to you, it means she's battling something internally. Pride versus longing, logic versus emotion. If you remain calm, grounded, and unbothered, you increase her emotional pull. If you chase, you relieve it. Missing someone grows in space. It dies in pressure. There's another layer to controlled proximity that most men miss. She may casually mention you in conversation with mutual friends. Not directly, subtly. How's he doing? Is he still working there? Neutral questions, but emotionally loaded. A woman who truly doesn't care, doesn't monitor. Now, this doesn't mean she's ready to come back. Missing you and being ready are two different psychological states. She can miss you deeply and still believe she shouldn't return. That's the conflict, and that conflict is powerful. You see, when a woman misses you but won't admit it, she is often trying to preserve dignity, especially in cultures like the US, UK, and Canada, where independence and emotional strength are highly valued. She doesn't want to appear weak. She doesn't want to feel like she's losing control. So instead of saying, "I miss you," she watches. Instead of saying, "I've been thinking about you," she reacts to your content. Instead of saying, "I regret how things ended," she maintains safe, indirect contact. And if you are emotionally reactive, you'll never notice the pattern. You'll just see silence. But if you're observant, you'll see the rhythm. Miss, withdraw, check, retreat, repeat. When a woman is truly over you, there is no rhythm. There is indifference. And indifference is cold. It's consistent. It doesn't peak. It doesn't hover. It doesn't orbit. So ask yourself honestly, is she gone or is she circling? Because those are two very different realities. And the man who understands that difference doesn't panic. He improves. He grows. He becomes more magnetic. Not to win her back, but because he knows value attracts attention, especially from someone already emotionally invested. Controlled proximity is not random behavior, it's restrained emotion. And restrained emotion is far more powerful than loud declarations. Stay calm, stay grounded, let her feel the distance. If she misses you, that distance will start speaking for you. The second secret sign she misses you but won't admit it is emotional leakage. Most men never notice it because it's subtle. It doesn't come in a dramatic text like, "I miss you." It's in the small, almost invisible cracks in her communication. A sigh when she sees your name, a lingering glance when you enter the room, a hesitation before she speaks. These are tiny signals, easy to dismiss, but they are loud if you pay attention. Emotional leakage is her subconscious betraying her conscious mind. She may tell herself, "I'm fine, he doesn't matter anymore. I'm over it." But her body doesn't lie. Her tone wavers when you're mentioned. She smiles differently when recalling a shared memory. Her laughter may tighten around the edges. She's trying to appear composed, but the truth slips out anyway. Here's the key. Women are emotionally intelligent, and most know how to mask vulnerability, but the ones who miss someone deeply will always leak in small doses. A joke that references you out of nowhere, a pause in a story that circles back to your name, a story about something that reminds her of your connection, dropped casually into conversation. These are not accidents. They are subconscious attempts to connect without admitting weakness. Men often misinterpret this as randomness. She's just being friendly. She's just mentioning a coincidence. No, it's never coincidence. Emotional leakage is instinctual, and instinct rarely lies. The danger for men is ignoring it. Ignoring it makes you blind to the signals that could reveal her true feelings. Many men respond by overanalyzing, by questioning every text, every glance. That's the wrong approach. Instead, observe without panic. Watch the pattern over weeks, not minutes. Here's another layer. Emotional leakage is often paired with testing. She might subtly push boundaries to see your reaction. Maybe she jokes about seeing someone else, or hints at your absence in a teasing way. It's not cruelty, it's an unconscious test. She wants to measure how much you still care without revealing how much she herself still feels. She's checking. Are you still affected? Do you still notice? When you respond with stability and calm confidence, you create tension inside her that she cannot easily resolve. Women who miss someone are caught between pride and longing, and tension fuels attraction. Another manifestation of emotional leakage is nostalgia. She might mention past experiences, not to invite conversation, but to relive the emotional intimacy she felt with you, a shared song, a movie you both loved, even a trivial inside joke. She's creating an invisible bridge back to the connection you once had, without ever saying, "I miss you." Here's the truth most men will never hear. If she misses you but won't admit it, she's communicating in ways she hopes you'll notice, without giving herself the shame of being vulnerable. She's playing a careful dance of emotional proximity, testing you while protecting herself. And here's the most critical part. This leakage is consistent, not erratic. A truly indifferent woman won't leak. A woman who truly doesn't care won't circle back emotionally. She moves forward cleanly, without hesitation, without memory, without testing. But emotional leakage leaves breadcrumbs, always. So if you're watching for these small, almost imperceptible signals, you will begin to recognize a pattern, a rhythm, a secret language that reveals more than words ever could. And when you understand that language, you understand her heart, even when she's pretending it's closed. Pay attention to the small things, not the dramatic texts, not the loud claims, the subtle signs, the pauses, the glances, the fleeting references. That's where the truth hides. Because missing someone is rarely spoken, it's lived quietly, and it's noticed only by the men who truly see. The third secret sign she misses you but won't admit it is selective engagement. This one trips up most men because it's the opposite of overt longing. She doesn't bombard you with messages. She doesn't call at odd hours. She doesn't beg for attention. Instead, she interacts with you only when it serves a deeper, hidden purpose, her emotional comfort, her curiosity, or her subconscious need for reassurance. And understanding this requires looking past surface behavior. Notice how she communicates. She might respond to your messages, but never immediately. She might comment on your posts, but only subtly, never over-enthusiastically. She might check in with mutual friends about you, without ever asking directly. These are all carefully chosen moments of engagement, calculated by her subconscious to feel close without losing control. She's balancing longing with pride, desire with restraint. Selective engagement often shows up in what she doesn't do as much as what she does. She won't initiate deep conversations, but she'll respond when the topic aligns with something personal between you. She won't casually invite you to hang out, but she'll join the same group or event where she knows you'll be present. She won't talk about her feelings, but she'll drop hints about experiences you once shared. Everything is measured, careful, indirect, but emotionally loaded. Here's the psychology behind it. Women who miss someone without admitting it are managing vulnerability. Vulnerability scares them, especially when they care but fear rejection or judgment. So instead of risking full exposure, they engage selectively. They create pockets of emotional interaction, enough to satisfy their longing, but not enough to leave them exposed. The danger for men is reading these signs too literally. You might think, she's not contacting me directly, she must not care. Wrong. Missing someone is often passive. She doesn't need to say anything to feel your absence. Her engagement is like a quiet heartbeat, a pulse that signals emotional investment without words. Another layer is testing boundaries. When she selectively engages, she's watching your response patterns. She wants to see if you notice her attention, how you handle it, and whether you react emotionally. This is not manipulation in the malicious sense, it's instinctual. It's her way of measuring connection without admitting vulnerability. Men often misinterpret this. They see inconsistency and label it as disinterest. But emotional inconsistency here is intentional. It's a sign of internal conflict. She's caught between missing you and maintaining control, between desire and self-preservation. Every carefully measured interaction is her way of negotiating that tension. Selective engagement also hides longing in plain sight. She might comment on something mundane, a neutral topic, but with timing, wording, or tone that subtly reminds you of shared experiences. She doesn't want to admit she misses you, but she also doesn't want to ignore the pull between you. Here's the secret few men understand. When a woman selectively engages, she's revealing more than she realizes. She's exposing the emotional cracks that can only exist because she still cares. And the more you stay calm, grounded, and confident, the more those cracks widen, because tension grows in space, not in pressure. A woman who is truly over you will not engage selectively. She will fully disengage. No glances, no subtle messages, no indirect interactions. She will have moved completely. But selective engagement signals unfinished emotional business, something unresolved that keeps you in her mind even when she pretends it isn't there. Watch her patterns carefully. Notice who initiates, what she responds to, and the subtle ways she keeps the connection alive without speaking her truth. That is the language of someone who misses you but won't admit it, and it is far more revealing than any confession. Understanding this is not about chasing her, it's about seeing clearly, observing without panic, recognizing the hidden signals of longing that most men completely miss. And when you do, you gain an edge most men never even realize exists. There's one final, almost invisible sign she misses you but won't admit it, and it's the hardest for men to see because it's wrapped in contradictions. She mirrors your energy without realizing it. Mirroring is a subtle, instinctive behavior. If she laughs at your jokes more than others, if her tone shifts to match yours, if her posture, expressions, or even pace of speech unconsciously aligns with yours, these are not coincidences. Women who are emotionally drawn to someone mimic their behavior because it creates closeness and emotional harmony, even when they consciously try to stay detached. Think about it. How often have you noticed a woman doing or saying things that echo you but shrugged it off as coincidence? That's the sign hiding in plain sight. When she misses you, she wants to feel connected without admitting it. She may claim independence, confidence, or that she doesn't care, but mirroring is her body telling the truth your mind might resist seeing. Here's the deeper truth. Mirroring happens because the brain is wired to seek emotional resonance. When she misses you, even unconsciously, she wants to recreate the emotional state she had with you. The laughter, the energy, the small shared moments, it's addictive. And even when she tells herself she's over it, her subconscious seeks familiarity and emotional safety, and mirroring becomes a way to get it without confessing longing. Mirroring isn't limited to physical behavior, it's in the language she uses, the phrases she chooses, even the way she reacts to situations. She may adopt your humor, your sarcasm, your cadence. She may start referencing things that matter to you, or joking about memories you shared. All of it is a subtle, nonverbal confession. I notice you. I remember you. You still matter. Men often overlook this because they expect missing someone to look like desperation, tears, or confessions. But true longing is rarely loud. It's quiet. It's woven into the tiniest interactions. And when a woman mirrors you, she's unconsciously saying the thing she refuses to say aloud. I still feel something for you. There's a pattern here that connects all the signs we've discussed: controlled proximity, emotional leakage, selective engagement, and mirroring. Each one is a layer of hidden communication, a psychological breadcrumb trail that reveals longing without words. And when you notice them together, you begin to see her emotional landscape clearly, even when she's pretending to be indifferent. Now, here's the catch. Understanding these signals is powerful, but reacting impulsively destroys the effect. If you chase her every hint, you relieve the tension she's managing, and the emotional pull diminishes. The man who understands female psychology doesn't panic. He observes, he grows, and he lets her subconscious work for him. The more grounded you remain, the stronger her internal conflict becomes, and tension breeds attraction. So watch for mirroring in her behavior, in her tone, in her subtle references. Notice how she unconsciously aligns with your energy. That alignment is a silent confession, louder than any text could ever be. And here's a truth almost no one tells you. Women rarely admit they miss someone, but their behaviors, when interpreted carefully, reveal everything. The moments she thinks you aren't watching, the little choices she makes, the way she mirrors your energy, these are the hidden signs that pull the curtain back on what she truly feels. Now here's something for you to reflect on and comment below. If the number of times she checks your stories multiplied by the number of subtle signs you've noticed equals the intensity of her hidden longing, what's your personal total? Drop your answer in the comments. If this resonated with you, like the video, subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. The truths most men never see are out there, and now you can finally read the signs.